Well, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about putting things into production, but also the answer to life and everything else. The real value from data, if you're going to get that value, only comes when it's in production, when the data's in production, when the processing of the data's in production. And you've heard from our competitors, the guys in blue, just how hard that can be. There's value to be had in finance, there's value to be had in agribusiness, there's value to be had in all kinds of machinery and time series analyses. But an awful lot of people don't get there. They miss out. They miss out for a whole number of reasons, but there's kind of this storm that occurs whenever they start to try to do this. Done wrong, you can have some serious problems. And Gartner had a survey a year or two ago, which indicated that only about 15% of the big data systems are in production. Now that really tweaked me because in my experience with the customers I work with, virtually 100% are in production. So I started looking at what is the difference? What is the secret that means that those people have a very, very low percentage in production and the people I talk to have a very high percentage? And one of it, big differences, is differences in expectations within a single organization. If you talk to IT organizations, they'll tell you that DevOps is the devil's work. You can see it in the name. Everybody just does whatever. And there's no repeatability, and IT gets blamed for everything. That's the story you hear. But if you talk to business units, they say DevOps is an absolute requirement. We can't have everything being frozen and change control applied capriciously. Now, both sides are describing the same problem in a very symmetrical and opposite fashion. They are describing the same things. And I've seen very, very different results from what you've heard about earlier today. I've seen customers with years of uptime, literally zero downtime. I've seen thousands of nodes, big clusters run by 3 people. And they don't even have a call rotation anymore because they never get a call. It's okay for everybody to be on call. That's great. If you ever do get a call, everybody's on deck. I've seen hundreds of applications running on a single platform. That sort of multi-tenancy is an under-recognized but a really crucial route to production because it allows you to make use of sunk costs. Of course, you have to have a system that supports that natively. I've seen customers have a native integrated data fabric that extends across 50 or more data centers, and have seen them implementing with any language, even languages I've never heard of, that work out of the box because of standard APIs. So we need, collectively, a new deal based on new technology. IT needs to have that repeatability, and that repeatability is key to the world definition of an IT organization, which is they cannot scale their people resources in response to scaling what they deliver. So if it takes 3 people to run 5 nodes, it should take about 3 people to run 1,000. That sort of scaling to a proportional number is not acceptable. Now, if we change those 1,000 nodes into 200 5-node clusters, clearly it will scale. So IT is going to need that repeatability. They cannot freeze change. On the other side, the business units absolutely do need that flexibility, but they cannot produce mayhem. We need to draw a line of abstraction, a line of responsibilities that makes this true. How are we going to do that? We have a huge range of applications that need to be built, and they have a huge range of requirements. This is a nominal sort of thing with a few different applications. The first column might be specific UIs. The second column might be data science. The third one might mean scaling or something like that. And everybody's going to have different takes on how that's going to be. But the last two columns, the ones which talk about moving applications around, distributed process management, and moving data around, distributed data management, are going to have very, very consistent requirements. So it makes a lot of sense to factor this complex requirements matrix into something simpler, where you provide application management as a service and data management as a service. Now, the heir apparent, the clear winner in the application management space is Kubernetes in many different forms. And I think there needs to be, and I'm clearly biased, do I bleed red? There needs to be a solid data platform under this. Now, this can feel kind of overwhelming because whole new things to learn. And it's especially true when you try to do things practically, because Kubernetes by itself just punts the issue of state. We really, really need a way to handle that. We need some way to manage these applications that have state and data that outlives those applications, that has a different life cycle. We need that data platform there. What we need is something that's like Kubernetes, but for data. Well, that's actually what we provide. And I've cast this as a view of the future, but in fact, this is our past. For the last 10 years, we've been building exactly this thing. And for the last 7 years, we've been delivering it. So if you'd like to hear more about this, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love it if you could come visit me at the MapR booth. And in particular, I'd love to talk to you about some of the offerings we have, which currently, based on best practice and years of experience, help people deploy models, help them manage models, help them monitor them, and identify opportunities. I'd also like to invite you, we're going to be signing our latest book, which is talking about bringing AI and analytics in production. But you can get our older books, Sharing Data Safely, like Ben Lorica was talking about. We have a book from a couple of years ago on that. Model management, machine learning, logistics management. We have a book from last year about that. We'd love to provide that sort of thing to you. You can download these all pretty much for free at MapR. And we'd love to help you put these things into production, help you with the answer to life, the universe, and everything along with your data. So thank you very much.